What if one of the most critical elections in American history had gone the other way? Imagine a world where President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the only U.S. president ever elected 4 times, lost in 1944. The war in Europe was reaching its climax. The Pacific was still burning. But instead of an ailing FDR guiding the Allies to victory, a sharp, young Republican named Thomas C. Dewey steps into the Oval Office. And history is rewritten. This isn't just political speculation. This is a dive into the turning point that never happened. Like and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for more history documentaries. Please watch the video till the end, as good interaction would help the performance of the video and the growth of my channel massively. How did Dewey win in this alternate 1944? For Dewey to defeat Roosevelt in 1944, several key factors would need to shift. Roosevelt's health was already in sharp decline, information the public didn't fully know. In this alternate timeline, the severity of his condition leaks. Rumors about his fitness spread, and images of a frail, wheelchair-bound Roosevelt make headlines. The public begins to question whether he can truly handle another wartime term. Meanwhile, Dewey sharpens his campaign. He distances himself from isolationist Republicans and focuses on bureaucratic waste, wartime corruption, and the expanding power of FDR's presidency. His clean, youthful image appeals to voters weary after 12 years of Roosevelt. The Democratic coalition begins to fray. Black voters and urban liberals stay loyal to FDR, but white working-class voters and war-fatigued Americans in the Midwest and South shift to Dewey. The Bible Belt, uneasy with Roosevelt's ties to Stalin, favors Dewey's tougher anti-communist stance. In November 1944, Dewey wins narrowly, perhaps 268 in the Electoral College. The reaction: shock and uncertainty. The American people are stunned. Roosevelt, gracious in defeat, retires to Hyde Park, where his health deteriorates rapidly. He dies in mid-1945, not long after leaving office. Northern liberals and labor unions brace for a rollback of New Deal policies, while conservative Democrats, especially in the South, quietly welcome the change. Black Americans, concerned about potential setbacks in civil rights, are anxious but not yet mobilized. Around the world, allies are confused. Churchill, who counted on Roosevelt's steady hand, scrambles to connect with Dewey. Stalin grows suspicious. Would this new leader uphold wartime promises? President Dewey's first term. Cabinet and domestic agenda. Dewey forms a moderate Republican cabinet, drawing from his New York allies and national GOP figures. He keeps some wartime administrators for continuity, but replaces key New Deal officials. His priorities: reduce executive overreach, carefully transition to a peacetime economy, combat inflation with price controls, though less aggressively than Truman. Dewey preserves Social Security, but cuts back federal jobs programs. The post-war economy grows, but inflation still hits in 1946. Republicans push austerity, leading to labor unrest. The Taft-Hartley Act limiting union power passes, with Dewey signing it, unlike Truman, who vetoed it. The end of World War II, a different leadership at a critical time. Yalta and the division of Europe. At the February 1945 Yalta Conference, Roosevelt is replaced by a fresh but less experienced Dewey. He pushes Stalin harder for democratic elections in Eastern Europe, but Stalin resists. Without Roosevelt's rapport with Churchill and Stalin, the talks are colder and less productive. Germany is still divided into 4 zones, but tensions emerge earlier. The Cold War's seeds are sown more openly at Yalta, V-Day, and the war in the Pacific. Dewey, guided by military leaders, lets generals finish the war in Europe. Eisenhower stays in command. V-Day still comes in May 1945. In the Pacific, Dewey backs the Manhattan Project and authorizes the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, arguing it will save lives and swiftly end the war. Founding the United Nations, delayed but not denied. Dewey supports international cooperation but is more cautious. The UN's founding conference still takes place in San Francisco, but in June or July 1945, slightly delayed due to leadership transition. The UN Charter is signed, though with slightly more input from conservative voices in Congress. The Cold War begins. The Dewey Doctrine? By 1947, tensions with the Soviet Union escalate. Rather than the Truman Doctrine, Dewey announces a tough stance in a March 1947 speech. It is the policy of the United States to support free peoples who are resisting attempted subjugation by armed minorities or outside pressures. This Dewey Doctrine provides military and economic aid to Greece and Turkey, but with stricter congressional oversight. Dewey is more restrained than Truman in rhetoric, but committed to containment. Marshall Plan, civil rights, and the 1948 election. Marshall Plan. The European Recovery Program, known here as the Dewey Plan, passes in 1948 with similar funding levels, but with stronger Republican backing. Dewey frames it as anti-communist investment rather than charity. Civil rights and the Great Migration. Dewey is progressive by GOP standards. He had a decent record in New York, but moves cautiously on civil rights. He desegregates the armed forces in 1948 under pressure from NAACP and black veterans. However, unlike Truman, he avoids making civil rights central to his campaign. The Great Migration continues, with black Americans seeking better opportunities in northern cities, but federal protections remain limited. Dewey versus the 1948 election. With the Democratic Party fractured, Southern Dixiecrats, Northern liberals, and unions uneasy, a weakened party nominates Senator Alban Barkley or possibly Henry Wallace, running on a more progressive platform. Dewey campaigns on post-war prosperity, anti-communism, and stability. This time, he wins handily, solidifying his presidency. Second term. The Cold War deepens. In his second term, Dewey continues containment, expands NATO, and funds anti-communist regimes in Europe and Asia. Korea still erupts in 1950. Dewey commits troops, but under UN auspices. MacArthur still leads the charge, but Dewey fires him earlier than Truman did, citing insubordination. Domestically, he manages the economy conservatively, but lacks Truman's connection with working-class voters. He proposes modest civil rights reforms, but Southern Democrats block them in Congress. Dewey's legacy. How would he be remembered? Dewey would be remembered as the president who oversaw victory in World War II and ushered in the Cold War, a moderate Republican who ended the New Deal era without dismantling it, a cautious internationalist, builder of the post-war order, but less visionary than FDR, a civil rights pragmatist, not a crusader like Truman, but ahead of his party. In history books, Dewey's presidency would be seen as competent, steady, and significant, but perhaps lacking the moral clarity of a Roosevelt or the boldness of a Truman. Conclusion. So what if Dewey had defeated Roosevelt in 1944? The war might have ended similarly, but the peace would have looked very different. The Cold War might have started colder. Civil rights delayed. Truman's legacy erased. and the entire trajectory of 20th century American politics reshaped. What do you think? Write your opinion and version of the story in the comments below. Please be polite and kind. If you want to know what would have happened if Wilkie defeated Roosevelt in 1940, click on the video on the left. Thanks for watching.